Newshour Special Edition.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Times Now. My name is Praneesh Kumar Roy. Let's start with our top story on the Newshour Special Edition. Rahul Gandhi's comment against the army over China clashes in Tawang has sparked a massive controversy, viewers. The BJP has taken umbrage and has lashed out at Congress party and Rahul Gandhi by describing Rahul Gandhi as India's Jaichand. In fact, BJP did not stop here and cited the 2008 MOU that Rahul Gandhi signed at the Chinese embassy to say that there is some kind of understanding that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party have with the Chinese. So every time our braves pummel the Chinese forces, statements like these are made by the Congress party and Congress leaders to demoralize our braves. That there is a pattern to this provocation. Every time India pushes back the Chinese, someone from the Congress ranks gets up and says, where is the proof? The BJP says they did it in Galwan, they did it after Pulwama, and we are not surprised that they are doing it after the clashes in Tawang. All of this after Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh briefed both houses of parliament and said that it was actually the Chinese who tried to provoke. The Chinese troops tried to alter the status quo at the line of actual control. But our forces stood firm, they stood tall, and they pushed back the Chinese and gave them such a thrashing that they will remember it all their lives. Here are the reactions coming in.
आपको तो माफी मांगना चाहिए. विपक्ष के नेता होने का मतलब नहीं है कि आप देश के शौर्य को गाली दें. आप देश को गाली दें. आपको देश से माफी मांगनी चाहिए.
राहुल गांधी जी के बयान पर मुझे कोई ज्यादा हैरानी नहीं होती, लेकिन बार बार ये दिखाता है कि जब डोकलाम की घटना भी हुई तब भी राहुल गांधी जी किसी और के साथ नहीं, चाइनीज अधिकारियों के साथ सूप पीते नजर आए. शायद राहुल गांधी जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी को भारतीय सेना पर विश्वास कम है, लेकिन हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है भारतीय सेना इतनी मजबूत है जो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक भी करती है और अतिक्रमण करने वालों को करारा जवाब भी देती. मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं, ये 1962 का भारत नहीं, ये 2022 का भारत है.
Earlier, Rahul Gandhi had said that China is preparing for war and the Indian government is sleeping over it, trying to ignore the threat. He went on to say that soldiers had to face the brunt from the PLA because of this attitude of the center.
तो भारत के जयचंद राहुल गांधी हमारी वीर सेना का मनोबल तोड़ने का काम क्यों कर रहे हैं? राहुल गांधी जी, एक बात और याद रखिएगा, ये वो भारत है जिसके पीछे एक वीर सेना है, एक मजबूत सशक्त राजनीतिक नेतृत्व श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का है.
Kind of lies and dushprachar Rahul Gandhi keeps spreading about the Indian armed forces after questioning the bravery of the forces during surgical strike, calling it farzical, saying it's khoon ki dalali, doubting Balakot airstrike. Now Congress party and Rahul Gandhi doubts the bravery of our soldiers in Tawang. This is the same Congress party that took the Chinese money, signed an MOU with China and gave away 38,000 square kilometers of our land in Aksai Chin.
You heard the reactions. Let's quickly open this up. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Major General GD Bakshi, needs no introduction, viewers. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress, and Lokesh Jindal, another Congress leader on the panel. Good evening to all of you. I want to begin by asking Lokesh Jindal one straight question. And Lokesh Jindal, please don't feel bad. Who is briefing Congress leaders or Rahul Gandhi that we are seeing statements like these?
Praneesh, when I'm talking about China, we are dealing with a neighbor that is indulging in an asymmetric warfare. So over here, the warfare is not limited to our borders. There is a cyber warfare as well. Recently, we had the AIMS, where the server was attacked, and we saw sensitive data getting leaked out. The point is, here are the Chinese who have twice the number of military personnel, who have thrice the amount of military defense expenditure than we have. And over here, we have a government which does not have a proactive policy to deal with such a neighborhood, which is only indulging into rhetoric. And in the last moment, we cannot put the entire responsibility on our soldiers. We need a multi-pronged, strategic, wholesome strategy, policy, and its implementation while dealing with such a threat. It involves an equal amount of participation by the diplomacy, by civil societies, by the government, political institutions, military, all of them together. So you cannot put the entire onus upon the soldiers. Soldiers, we are proud of our soldiers. We are proud of the army, the institution, its legacy. And people who say that this is not 1962 Bharat, so let me tell you, 1962 soldiers, they were the bravest of the brave. With meager arms and ammunition, they were still able to defend the Chinese. In fact, I have heard stories whereby the Gorkhas, they came out with their kukris and taught Chinese a lesson. I mean, nobody doubts the bravery of Indian Army and its soldiers. But the point is, you cannot put the entire blame upon, you cannot put the entire responsibility upon them with respect to safeguarding our borders and our sovereignty and integrity. This is what was meant by Rahul Gandhi. So over here, we want to question, we want to enter into dialogue with the government. What is it exactly doing? What is its policy? Why is it quiet when skirmishes like this are occurring in Galwan? When skirmishes like this are occurring in Tawang? Why isn't a coherent policy on the cards? Why is there the government completely off guard about it?
No, if this is so much about policy, Lokesh Jindal, then why are statements like these being made? By which I mean that our forces were thrashed.
The point is, these statements, they are to be interpreted in the context.
No. Who will interpret? Someone sitting in Beijing will interpret this?
No. The one who are running the government right now.
Okay, Sanju Verma.
They must accept the criticism.
Why are you taking offense at what Rahul Gandhi said? You are obviously not interpreting it rightly, because Rahul Gandhi did not mean anything disrespecting for our forces. Why are you calling him a Jaichand? Sanju Verma.
Okay, Praneesh, I hope I will not be interrupted. I was absolutely patient and listening to what the other panelists had to say. Let me just say a couple of quick things. First and foremost, yesterday was the Vijay Divas. And instead of celebrating the fact that the Pakistani army was defeated by our valiant soldiers 51 years back in 1971, look at the timing of Rahul Gandhi. There is not one tweet from his end saying that Vijay Divas is a historic occasion to salute the bravery of our brave hearts. Yet, on that very Vijay Divas, there is a shameful comment where he says कि हमारी सेना की पिटाई हो गई चीनियों द्वारा. चीनियों ने हमारे जवानों की जमकर पिटाई की. Look at the language, look at the timing, look at the sheer audacity, and look at the shamelessness. Now I will tell you a couple of things. What has Rahul Gandhi been telling since the last few days? He has been saying, ये सरकार, मोदी सरकार सो रही है, चीन युद्ध की तैयारी कर रहा है. So my first question, Rahul Gandhi जी, आपके रिलायबल सोर्सेज ने यदि आपको बताया है चीन युद्ध की तैयारी कर रही है, तो कृपया हमें भी बताइए आपके सोर्सेज कौन हैं. Point number 2, if you say that land has been usurped and taken away by the Chinese both during Galwan and in the recent Tawang sector skirmish, please tell me कितने किलोमीटर जमीन पर चीनियों ने कब्जा किया है? Because Rahul Gandhi certainly has a crystal ball where he can gaze, make predictions, make forecasts, and he knows more than what the defense and the home minister do in this country. And the third most important thing, why is it that the moment BJP leaders, and I have been on umpteen debates in the last few days, the moment BJP spokespersons and leaders say please divulge the contents of the 2008 MOU signed between Chinese Congress Party and Chinese Communist Party. The Congress spokesperson should start calling the BJP leadership Gaddar. आपके पेट में इतना दर्द क्यों होता है when your bluff is called out? And let me tell you one more thing. It is the same Randeep Surjewala who called the Pulwama terror attack a homegrown attack. They dismissed the Balakot strike as just something that the Modi government did with an eye on elections. This is the same Congress party which called the ex-CDS who is no more Bipin Rawat Sadak ka Gunda. This is the same Congress party after the surgical strike in 2016 called our soldiers as engaging in coup.
Wrong, Sanju Verma, that's your fault. Why are you blaming the Congress for it? You got it all wrong. GD Bakshi, no, let me now bring in the soldier on the panel. GD Bakshi, sir, so much has been said and written about it. How does it affect the morale of our forces?
Look, the morale of our forces is rock solid, but they do feel hurt when uncalled for, uncharitable comments are made which are not in consonance with facts. The simple fact is that on the 9th, December engagement or fracas that took place between the PLA and the Indian Army, 300 PLA soldiers had tried to intrude and they got a thrashing of their lives. It is, I'm afraid, very well covered on the social media. There are a number of videos of that clash going viral, and you can see it now on your screen, and you can see who is, giving it to the other side. It is very clearly the Indian soldiers who are dominating the fight, who are aggressive, who have thrashed the Chinese and forced them to retreat. So as far as this little engagement is concerned, I'd hardly call it an engagement, but this little engagement is concerned, the Chinese have had the worst of it and they have been forced to retreat. That's fact number one. Fact number two, Rahul Gandhi repeatedly made the assertion that China is making preparations for war and we are sleeping. I would just like to humbly point out that 15th and 16th, the Eastern Air Command held massive exercises as a show of force, as a deterrence and dissuasion manner, wherein our Rafale jet fighters, our Mirages, our Sukhois, our attack helicopters, our heavy lift Chinooks and our Hercules aircraft were put to the test. Our S-400 missiles, the latest, the most advanced missile system, air defense missile system in the world, they were put to the test, they were put through their paces, and we test fired an Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile that can hit Beijing. I think that sends a very firm, very strong message. You can't get any stronger than that. So how are we making the assertion that India is doing nothing, India is not prepared? The simple fact is, yes, they were building up opposite Tawang, but we were aware of it. And that is why our troops were on the ready. The moment they tried to intrude in a strength of 300, which is almost a battalion minus, there was a quick reaction, reinforcements were rushed in, and they were driven back. They were thrashed and driven back. Yes, we had 6 boys who had minor injuries. The score of injuries on the other side is 20 to 30.
Now, Kamruzaman Chaudhary...
And thereafter, the Chinese themselves said that the issue is resolved.
General Saab, let's get in Mr. Chaudhary now. Mr. Chaudhary, you first heard Lokesh Jindal. He said it is all about interpretation. Do you really believe that this is a case of misinterpretation? That Rahul Gandhi's comments have been misinterpreted, and Rahul is not alone. And a whole host of Congress leaders who said things which General Saab said is not good for the morale of our braves.
Praneesh, you must first understand that really, honestly speaking, I also can't find out a reason why one comment from Rahul Gandhi has rattled the entire Sangh ecosystem. Because Rahul Gandhi's one statement has punched a big hole in the narrative of pseudo-nationalism that this Sangh Parivar has so long built up in the country. Do you think that the government controls the army or the army controls itself? You must be very much underprepared in your debates when you say that Rahul Gandhi was criticizing the Indian army. It is criticizing a government, a democratically elected government by the Constitution of India, which is in a state of constant denial. You know how the Prime Minister of the country, the Defense Minister of the country, lied on the floor of the Parliament to the nation that nothing, all sab changa si. Or sab changa si, then why 20 people of our graves had to return back in coffins? Who is going to be responsible for this? Nobody entered Arunachal Pradesh. That's what the government says. But the same Bharatiya Janata Party's Arunachal Pradesh unit has tweeted that China has made villages within our territory. We will defend each and every inch of our territory in Arunachal. So that punches the whole of the government. When yesterday I brought out the report from Guwahati Medical College that 7 of our brave soldiers are seriously injured and are getting treatment in Guwahati Medical College, then only the Sangh Parivar began to accept that the soldiers were indeed injured. They were airlifted, in fact, from Tawang out there. You must know the terrain of Tawang, Arunachal Pradesh. How
but Mr. Chaudhary,
it is important.
Tell me something,
now
sir.
You cut me off. Now you cut me off.
No, I am not. I am not. Make your point, sir. Okay.
The basic point out here is that the entire ecosystem is rattled by a comment from Rahul Gandhi ji. They have started calling him names, hitting him below the belt by their comments. But has Rahul Gandhi ever once said that the army is at fault? We are just criticizing the loopholes, the denial mode that the government is in with regards to our policy with China. Why is the Prime Minister so afraid to take the name of China even? When we know what happened with Pakistan.
But Mr. Chaudhary, this is... No, 1 minute. I made the distinction and I have done this in the past also, and I remember you were on the panel that if you have something against the BJP, the political war can happen. The Congress party, if you want to abuse the BJP, go ahead, do it. I have no problem, sir. The BJP will respond. All that I said, sir. No, sir. Sir, you will have to allow me to answer. You said, you are so not prepared. I'll tell you. The problem is not about the political blame game which is going on. This is about, on one hand, you are saying, look, we are with the army. And on the other, you are saying, nahi, pit ke aa gayi ye. Inhone maar kha liya. The Chinese entered. So who are there guarding the borders?
No.
Pranesh, may I come in, please?
Mixing the country's police force, which is controlled by the government, and the Indian army. Indian army acts according to their own strategy. It is nowhere controlled by the government.
But sir, do you remember the kind of commentary by the Congress leaders, your leaders, sir, after the Pulwama strike? One leader, who is now a member of parliament, went on to say that this was so-called homegrown terrorists.
Exactly.
Mr. Chaudhary, quote unquote. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं, sir. I am only saying what was said by Congress leaders. I am sure you know the name.
Pranesh,
I need to come in here,
you can cite n number of instances of comments. But the nation today wants to know one simple question. From the government, why are you lying on the floor of the parliament? That
okay, Sanju Verma was Raksha Mantri lying on the floor of the parliament. Did Rajnath Singh lie to India?
No, one more question I have for Sanju Verma.
Let's take it one question at a time.
I heard him.
Just a small question, sir.
No, I heard this now. I need to
Why is the government
I've been listening to him very
from a
patiently,
debate, from a discussion on the
we'll come to that because the government says we are ready for a debate. The Congress stages a walkout. So let's not get into that. I don't want to, disrupt this debate on that. Sanju Verma, did Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri, lie to Parliament?
Pranesh, I heard the Congress panelists, very, very carefully. First and foremost, the government has not denied that there were injuries on both sides. In fact, the MOD Tezpur clearly said that there was a face-off. There was a face-off and there were injuries on both sides. Can you please ask this man not to heckle?
No,
Did
why
I
you
disturb
lying?
you?
The statement
Can
from
you just
defense
shut up?
minister is there.
Pranesh, is this the way to debate? Can this man please hold his horses? Why are you rattled now? Please keep quiet. I will call out your bluff
I can't
in 2
understand.
minutes.
No, Sanju Verma, let's be
refuse to
civil here,
debate.
please. Let's be civil. Mr. Chaudhary, you asked her a question. Let her respond. Don't interrupt her, sir, please. She was listening to you while you were making your point. Sanju Verma, go ahead.
There is a Ministry of Defense press statement made on the 12th of December which clearly says there was a face-off, the Chinese tried to provoke and there were injuries on both sides. So has the government denied about injuries? No. Has Rajnath Singh clearly said that the Chinese tried to transgress by crossing from the Yangtze? No. He has clearly said that there was an attempt to transgress the LAC in Yangtze area, but the Chinese attempt was contested by our troops in a firm and resolute manner. This is the statement in public domain by the Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh. So the second allegation that the BJP is trying to hide is absolute gibberish because the defense minister and home minister have clearly said ना 1 इंच जमीन का कब्जा हुआ है और ना 1 इंच जमीन का हम नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार के नेतृत्व के तहत कभी भी कब्जा होने देंगे. The government is very clear, but the Congress certainly has gone blind and deaf. It wants to see what it conveniently wants to see. It wants to only hear what it conveniently wants to hear, and it is speaking the language of the Chinese. And I'll tell you why.
Sorry.
Let me just now, please, my 2 minutes are not over. Pranesh, my 2 minutes
Why
are
is
not
the
over.
Prime Minister so
Pranesh,
afraid
my
for a
2 minutes
Let's not
are
talk
not
over
over.
each other now. 1 minute.
I
Let's not do this.
did not
Mr.
interrupt
Chaudhary, let her respond. I'll come back to you.
If you have invited her for
Thank
a
you.
speech, then
My
it's
two-
No, but she listened to what you were saying, sir.
Yes, this is the problem. What this man is doing today on your panel, Pranesh, this is the behavior of the Congress on the floor of the parliament. They will level baseless allegations, and when their bluff is called out, they will shout and scream, and then when the house is adjourned, they will say, oh, BJP ki sarkar to discussion nahi chahti. You know what? The Congress is suffering from a Stockholm syndrome, where they love playing victimhood. And I will now give the most important point. You know, everybody asks, why is 2022 different from 1962? Forget about the 38,000 square kilometers which Nehru gave on a golden platter to the Chinese. Our soldiers that time, and this is what defense experts say, this is not Sanju Verma, that Nehru refused to even sanction proper footwear for our soldiers. Today, India has the presidency of the G20. We have the chair of the non-permanent membership of the UNSC. As General GD Bakshi said just a few hours back, we launched very successfully the Agni 5, which has an operational range, you know, of how much? 8,000 square kilometers.
Can I come in,
Have you
Pranesh?
seen Rahul Gandhi applauding the government on Agni 5?
Okay.
No.
Okay,
Show
I am
me
running out of time, but the last word on the show,
Show
I
me
want to
one
bring in
thing
General
by
Saab.
Rahul Gandhi on Agni 5.
Lokesh Jindal, I'm sorry, you don't have much time on the show. Let me bring in General Bakshi. General Bakshi, the last word to you. The last word to you. Put this in the right context for the country.
Alarmist statements like China is preparing for war and we are asleep on the wheel. Once again, it is factually incorrect. I think a lot has been done to strengthen our armed forces, to buy them the latest weaponry. The S-400s have come in, the Rafales have come in, the LCA is being inducted at a fast pace. We are going to get the, the ATACMS gun system. So the infrastructure is being developed at a very rapid pace. That is the fact check. I think we must do a fact check. Yes, the opposition must oppose, but in a responsible manner. And when it is a matter of national security, when an adversary country is involved, I think we need to be circumspect. We need to at least confine ourselves to the fact at the very least.
We need to be circumspect. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, some other day, sir. I have completely run out of time. Sorry, Lokesh, don't have time. Sanju Verma, General Saab, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Lokesh, thank you for joining us on debate number 1.